Dear comrades, today I am going to discuss the central government health scheme, shortly known as CGHS. Comrade KKN Putty, our beloved Secretary General NCCPA, has elaborately deliberated upon CGHS, medical insurance and other medical facilities in the webinar conducted by the All India Postal and RMS Pensioners Association in June. So I am not going into detail again what Comrade KKN Putty has said. Today I am restricting my speech to the practical use of CGHS. CGHS came into being on 1st May 1954. Simply because it has come into existence on 1st May, please don't think that it was a May Day gift from the government for the central government employees. Actually, if the governments at the center, whichever government at the center has been sympathetic towards working class and central government employees, they should have declared May Day as a holiday for all central government employees. But so far, on only one occasion, when Mr. V.P. Singh was the Prime Minister of India, in the year 1989, May Day was declared as holiday for central government employees to commemorate the centenary of May Day. Before and after that, there was no holiday for central government employees on account of May Day. So, it just coincided with the May Day. The announcement of central government health scheme just coincided with the May Day, and it was implemented on 1/5/1954. It was slowly extended to other cities. In Mumbai, it was extended to in the year 1963. Chennai city was converted into CGHS center in 1975. Similarly, other cities also, one after another, was converted into CGHS cities. Now we are having 82 CGHS covered cities in 31 states. As per the Lok Sabha reply given last week, the Post and Telegraph dispensary, PNT dispensaries, which were separately functioning, were also merged with CGHS. After the recommendation of the 6th CPC, 19 PNT dispensaries were merged with CGHS. After the recommendation of the 7th CPC, 33 more PNT dispensaries were merged with CGHS. It came into operation on 1/4/2019. Similarly, in June 2021, 15 cities were converted into CGHS cities. So in all, up to date, we are having 82 CGHS cities across the country. In the 82 cities, there are 452 wellness centers. When we say 452 wellness centers, we should not come to the conclusion that it all allopathic centers. The 452 wellness centers include wellness centers for Indian medicines also. So I am giving the details of the wellness centers. Allopathic 331, Ayurvedic 33, Homeopathy 10, Unani 10, Siddha 3, Yoga 4. The Yoga Wellness Center, all the 4 Yoga Wellness Centers are located in Delhi only. Out of 3 Siddha units, 2 in Chennai and 1 in Delhi. Similarly, some of the cities which are having allopathic clinic are given below. In Delhi, it has 87 wellness centers. Mumbai has 26 wellness centers. Kolkata has 18 wellness centers. Chennai has 14 wellness centers. Hyderabad has 13 wellness centers. Nagpur has 11 wellness centers. These are the major cities which are having more number of wellness centers for CGHS beneficiaries. As on 1/8/2021, 1st August 2021, there are 13,42,791 cardholders in India under CGHS. Similarly, there are 38,99,539 beneficiaries under CGHS. So, for one card, there is at least 3 beneficiaries are there. Out of total cardholders, 46% are serving employees, 47% are pensioners. The remaining 7% belong to other sections who come under CGHS. Now we can see who are eligible for CGHS benefits. Not only central government employees and pensioners, other sections are also included for the benefit of CGHS. They are central government employees and pensioners, family pensioners, members of parliament, ex-members of parliament and their families, ex-governors, ex-Supreme Court judges, ex-High Court judges, sitting High Court judges, as well as sitting Supreme Court judges, etc. In all, 39 categories of persons come under CGHS system. So, under CGHS system, what does family mean? A family means government servant, spouse, sons, daughters, parents. If the government servant is a female employee, she can include her parents or her parents-in-laws as dependents. Sisters, widows, widowed daughters, minor brothers and sisters are all come under dependents. As far as daughter is concerned, up to marriage they can be member of CGHS. As far as son is concerned, until the age of 25 he can be in CGHS. As far as physically and mentally retarded children's son, there is no age limit. The son can be a member of a beneficiary of CGHS beyond 25 years also, but when he gets married, he will choose to be beneficiary of CGHS. So, these are the description of family. As far as dependents are concerned, except spouse, all are dependents to the primary card holders. Similarly, the income of the dependents should not exceed 9,000 plus DA per month. If their income crosses 9,000 and DA per month, they will also choose to be member of CGHS. Then, how a CGHS city and how a CGHS wellness center is determined. What is the criteria for a new CGHS city and what is the criteria for a new wellness center? For a new CGHS cities to be created, there should be at least a minimum of 6,000 card holders. So 6,000 card holders are required to create a new city. Similarly, in an existing CGHS city, if you want an additional CGHS wellness center, there should be a minimum of 2,000 card holders for a new CGHS wellness center under the existing city. So, in the reply given in Lok Sabha on 23/7/2021 also, the government has reiterated that 6,000 card holders are necessary for creating a new CGHS city and 2,000 card holders are necessary for creating a new wellness center under the existing city. Now, we can see what is the criteria for joining the CGHS. For joining the CGHS, the government servant should reside in the place notified by the ADCGHS, or he should be within 5 kilometers from the wellness center, residing within the 5 kilometers from the residence, from the CGHS wellness center. For joining CGHS, residence is the criterion, not the office. We have to, a government servant should reside within 5 kilometers from the wellness center, or he should reside in the areas notified by the concerned AD of the concerned CGHS city. A serving employee, even though living in a non-CGHS area, but if he comes under the municipality area, then he can also join in the CGHS as one-time measure. For serving employees, CGHS is compulsory. Whether we apply for a card, whether we are holding a card, it is immaterial. If you reside in a CGHS area, you have to be a member of CGHS. Even if you are not joining CGHS physically, CGHS subscription will be recovered from your salary without notice. You cannot opt out of CGHS under any circumstances. Similarly, pensioners also can join CGHS. Those who are residing in the CGHS area, it is only optional for them to join. But they do not join the CGHS, they will not be eligible for fixed medical allowance. So, either the pensioner has to join the CGHS or has to forego the fixed medical allowance. Now we can see what is the subscription payable for getting a CGHS card. There are 4 slabs. Previously in the 5th and 6th CPC, there were 5 slabs. Now it has been reduced to 4 slabs. According to the level in the pay matrix, your subscription will be determined. From level 1 to 5, the CGHS subscription will be 250. For level 6, it is 450. From level 7 to 11, the CGHS subscription will be 650. From level 12 and above, it is 1000. So according to your pay, the CGHS subscription will be recovered from your salary. As far as pensioners are concerned, they have to pay the subscription what they paid at the time of retirement. They have to pay the same subscription for getting either a life card or a card for 1 year or 2 year renewable after the expiry of the time. So they can also opt for CGHS card. For life card, the pensioner should pay 10 years of subscription. As far as 1 year or 2 year card, they have to pay for either for 1 year or 2 year. At the end of first year or second year, as the case may be, you have to renew the card for further use. For example, if your subscription is 450 rupees, if you opt for yearly CGHS card, you have to pay 450 into 12, 5,600. For getting a life card, you have to pay 56,000 rupees. Even if you have retired in previous pay commissions, 5th pay commission or 6th CPC, you have to pay the rate subscription at the rate of 7th CPC level. So this is one issue has been already been taken up by our CHQ to relax the provision so that those pensioners who are retired in the earlier pay commissions should pay only the subscription prevailed at that time. That issue is yet to be settled. After the implementation of the 7th CPC, even those pensioners who are residing in non-CGHS areas are permitted to join CGHS by paying the requisite subscription either for 1 year or for 2 years or for life. By paying the subscription, they will get the card. There are 2 options for the pensioners residing in non-CGHS area. Either by paying the full subscription, they can get CGHS treatment from CGHS Wellness Center as well as inpatient treatment from empaneled private hospitals. Or the pensioner can get fixed medical allowance of 1,000 rupees and take outpatient treatment outside CGHS and can take inpatient treatment at empaneled private hospitals. So now we see what is the ward entitlement for the CGHS beneficiary. Ward entitlement is fixed according to the pay range. According to your basic pay, it is fixed. For up to 47,600, the central government employee will be eligible for general ward. For pay range between 47,601 to 63,100, it is you are eligible for semi-private ward. Above 63,101, you are eligible for private ward. In the card itself, it will be mentioned that you are eligible, your entitlement is general, semi-private or private. As far as empaneled private hospitals and diagnostic centers are concerned, as on 15/6/2020, that is up to last year, there were 1,303 empaneled private hospitals across the country. Similarly, diagnostic centers were 203 all over India. The reply was given in the parliament also. This figure is as on 15/6/2020. So some hospitals might have increased in the last 1 year or might have come down. Now we can see how to apply for a CGHS card. Now the card is in printed form. Plastic card is being issued now. For serving employees, they have to go to the CGHS website of cghs.gov.in or web portal of cghs.nic.in, and they can fill the form and take a print of the form. Along with the form, you have to submit the following enclosures. They are photos, independent photos. If you have 5 beneficiaries in your home, then you have to attach 5 separate photos with the application form. Similarly, the proof of residence is also to be attached with the application. Another enclosures that are required along with the applications are proof of stay of dependent. It is mandatory for the dependents to stay with the primary card holder only. If they stay outside the residence of primary card holder, they will not be eligible for CGHS card. Similarly, proof of age of son. Disability certificate issued by the medical authority in respect of physically disabled son. So these documents should be attached with the application form and sent to the administrative office. As far as post offices are concerned, our divisional office is the administrative office. So these forms should be sent to divisional office. They will send it to the concerned ADCGHS office. As far as retired employees are concerned, they also have to download the form from the CGHS website and fill it down. But they have to pay the amount. They have to pay the subscription either for life card or for the yearly card. They have to pay the subscription through the web portal of bharatkosh.gov.in. Previously, the amount was to be paid by way of check or draft. Now the system has been changed. Now the subscription has to be compulsorily paid through bharatkosh.gov.in, and you have to get a receipt from the portal. Along with the application, the following documents are to be submitted. One is surrender certificate. If you are holder of a CGHS card at the time of your service in the department, then we have to surrender the card to the administrative office and get a surrender certificate. In case of those pensioners who are applying for the first time, there is no need for submitting surrender certificate. So along with the application, surrender certificate is required. Photos are required, independent photos are required. Bharat Coast receipt for the subscription paid, that should be attached, and attested copies of the PPPOs and LPC should also be attached. So this application along with all enclosures should be submitted in person at the office of Additional Director CGHS in which you are residing. So they, after getting the application, they will give an acknowledgement form. Till printed card, plastic card is supplied to you. Based on the acknowledgement, the pensioner can take treatment at the required CGHS wellness centers. Comrades, we have seen the growth of CGHS right from 1954, how it was expanded to 31 states, 82 cities, the number of CGHS centers, wellness centers across the country, the rate of CGHS subscription, ward entitlement, and how to apply for the CGHS card, both serving employees and pensioners. These things have been discussed in this episode. So let us conclude here. The remaining part will be in the next episode that will be shown to you very shortly. In that, we can see the facilities available in every CGHS wellness center. The facilities available at diagnosis centers and inpatient, private empaneled hospital. Let us see in the next episode the facilities available in the CGHS wellness center, the facilities available at the empaneled private hospitals, the procedure to take treatment in private empaneled hospital. All these things we can discuss in the next episode. With this, I conclude. I hope this episode would have been benefited many of our serving as well as retired comrades. Let us see in the next episode. Until then, goodbye. Thank you.